I thought of something that my daughter-in-law Stacy and I were talking about last night. I mentioned the study that we were doing, The Quest, which is a journey towards intimacy with God, and she was saying, I haven't even gotten my book out yet. But she had started it before with the church where she's going, and where she's a member, and I said, well, that's okay, because there are different seasons in our lives, and sometimes this is the season God has you doing this. But there's a desire, I think, in most of us that we want to go deeper with the Lord. And we were talking about how long it took to do some of those sessions, because it's not like, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes here and do this thing, because what the questions that you're asked cause you to do is to really get real with God. And it's not just oh, this is the right answer. It's you're searching your heart and saying, God, there are questions like, who made you believe? Who taught you this? Who said this about you? If you feel this way or whatever. And I told her, I said, there are some questions that they ask, and I'm like, God, I don't have a clue. I believe this about myself nearly all of my life. I'm not sure where it came from. I'm not, I don't know if it's something that just the enemy, Satan, the devil put in my mind. I don't know if it was something, some of it I know where it came from. I can remember certain relatives or somebody saying certain things that made me go like, ooh. And really something. And she responded, she said, yeah. She said, there's so things that God's asking you to really open that part of your heart to Him. And she said, and I'm going like, no, God, I don't want to go there. I put that away, I pressed that down. And as we were singing this, where it was said, open my heart, open my heart. And I realized sometimes we shut certain parts of our hearts off from the Lord so tightly that it's almost impossible for us to open them. And we need Him to come in and open those parts of our heart so that there can be healing and restoration. And the thing that I'm getting at is that is so much what He wants to do. He wants to come into those areas that we've blocked off from Him for so long, because He wants us to know Him so deeply. When you really get to know someone really well, sometimes they'll start saying something and you can finish their sentences. I do that a lot. And in the past, I've been told it was really bad thing to do, but sometimes I can't help myself because I know exactly what the person's going to say. And so I'll find myself finishing their sentences, and then I'm going like, shut up, Darlene. That's what they're doing the conversation, not you. But the thing is, when we get that close to the Lord and really get that deep with Him, it should be that when He starts talking to us, we know exactly what He's going to say before He ever opens His mouth and says something to us. And so today, as we were singing this, only He can come in sometimes to open our hearts so that we can hear His heart speaking to us. And I just wanted to encourage you to believe that even if we're like Stacy, and sometimes I'm exactly like that, go, no, God, I don't want to go that place. Because it's like opening a can of worms, because you have a feeling things are going to get bad before they get better because of the things that God brings up. It's like He muddies the water, all that junk that's sifted down to the bottom, there He stirs it up. And sometimes that's a hard thing. It's not an easy thing. But He does it because He wants to go deeper with us. And so even if we're like Stacy, we were going like, God, we closed that door for a reason. We blocked that off because there's so much pain. There's so much hurt. There's so many things that I don't want to go through that again. I just want to encourage us to cry out to Him, to go ahead and open those parts of our hearts that we can hear His heart, because He's really longing. He's really longing for us to hear what He has to say, to be that intimate with Him so that we know Him so well that when He starts speaking, we know Him and we know what He's going to say.